Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. A few days ago I announced on this channel that I plan to make a special video for you this Halloween. So I was thinking to myself, why don't make a video which can be, even for Jeff, a pretty scary thing. As we all may know, Jeff isn't a huge fan of his own fanbase, so I decided to make a video where Jeff is reacting to some fanfiction which was written by some fans of him. I want to point out that it's not my intention to judge any author out of this world. I wrote myself a lot of fanfiction back then, and the only reason why I didn't choose my own is because it's written in German, and I want this video to be understandable for everyone. Before we start with the actual content of this video, I want to mention the artist of the music I used for this video. So basically there are existing two channels, one for the music and one which is called Tokyo Lifestyle, which is describing the content of it all pretty good. So I leave both of the links in the description, and if you feel in the mood, you can just take a look at it, maybe leave a like or even a subscribe, because the owner of both of them is a pretty cool dude, and it would be awesome if he gets some support. But yeah, let's don't make a lot of bubbling anymore and start this quickly. What am I doing here? A very wise person told me... I killed this person, but anyway, a very wise person told me that it's always good to get to know your enemies better. So although there are hundreds of thousands reasons why I shouldn't take a look in this book, I guess this one is just worth it to do it once a time. The fanfiction we take a look at today is called Love Kills, Jeff the Killer Love Story, and was written by Bloodsophia on Wattpad. Beside the fact that I think it's pretty ridiculous and paradox to put Jeff the Killer and the word love story in just one title, I like the rest of it at least, because you know, it has some truth in it. Well, I would say everything will kill you early or later, but let's just leave that beside. So the first chapter, To Feel It Again. Boring, 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 but at least you can say that Eyeless Jack is hella pedophilic on this image. So I always thought it was Laughing Jack Task to just look like the creepy candy uncle, but in this picture, it's definitely Eyeless Jack. Let's have a look at the chapter names. So, Chapter 1, To Feel It Again, we already had it. Chapter 2, Brutal. Chapter 3, Basement. Chapter 4, Waking Up. Chapter 5, Screams. Oh my god, these titles are so creative. Chapter 6, Meeting Jeff. Well, at least this sounds kinda interesting, so let's dive in. You can't imagine how less I feel like it. I waited what seemed like forever until I felt a cold hand on my forehead and realized I fell asleep again. Your fever broke, that's good, a man's voice said. It's been days. Days? I've been asleep for days. I sat up, seeing I was still chained, and looked up to see a hooded figure stood over me. So I guess this part was written of the perspective of the girl or the guy or whoever. Who are you, I ask? There aren't many things which are so irritating and confusing to me, like when people are stammering. I hate it. The one that saved your life, he said in a deep raspy voice. Yeah, good, but in that moment, when this conversation starts, I would definitely just save my own ears. Can I see your face? I asked meekly.
Yes, my dear, and I promise, this will be the last thing you will see in your entire life.
You'll be afraid, he growled as he knelt to my level. Beautiful, then I'm not the only one anymore who's afraid, so I guess that's a great deal. But please, I mumbled. He was still before his band came up and grabbed the edge of his hood. He then pulled it down to reveal long black sword of shaggy hair. But when he lifted his face, my heart stopped. All I now saw was his pale white face, his blue soulless eyes looking into mine. Well, congratulations, Sherlock, but a white face is always pale. But what made me scream was a smile. I know it's beautiful. His carved smile that split his lips apart into a bloody god-awful smile. NANI?! I don't really get the whole description in this fanfiction. Let's just move on. Chapter 12, Robin's story. Okay, let's see. Robin. Okay, it could be both. Let's see. I sat meekly on the table as Toby gave me a small boil with cereal in it. "Is that okay?" he asked. I gulped, signed and nodded. "Yeah, thank you. No problem. Don't let Jeff get to you. He's just hot-heated." "Yeah." And I think that's pretty understandable. I nodded and take a small scoop of cereal, eating it and trying not to let the sick feeling get to me. I was soon able to swallow the food and took some deep breaths. So it's very interesting how she's eating cereals, I get it, but in this whole chapter there's just one little paragraph which is telling us about her past. But it should be a good idea to just call the chapter Robin's story. Garrett saved me from my abusive father. My mother died when I was 7, and my father just started beating me. Garrett and I met in school, and he and I ran away from it all. But then he started getting into drugs and alcohol, and yeah, I went from insults to beatings, then rapes every night, and then all three at once, sometimes with friends. Wow, I guess the author really had a hard time to just try to think about everything bad that could happen to a person. But that's not the point of letting someone staying alive. So let's just say her past is no apology for getting on my nerves. My eyes. I swear that's the first ever moment in my life I regret to burn my eyelids. Again, from Robin's perspective, because we hadn't enough of this annoying human being. I woke up again to see Jeff was watching me. I didn't feel any pain in my leg anymore. "Jeff," I smiled at him in somewhat sleepy tone. "Wait, this person is in my bed? Well, my bed is only my space. That's just disgusting." He was still shirtless from his shower, but I didn't care. Well, I'm pretty sure that I care at this moment. "My Robin," he smiled back. I always smile, so what's the point about mentioning that anyway? And that she's mine is also pretty ridiculous because of course I kidnapped her. So she's my possession. There's nothing to discuss about. "Why were you downstairs?" he mumbled. "I thought I heard everyone come back, but saw it was all empty, and he attacked me when I was going back up the stairs. So what's the point about just attacking back when you're attacked? So no, you need a person who's saving you. I think you have everything reached in your life. I know I shouldn't have done that, yes, but I just thought, it's over, he can't hurt you anymore. Yes, but I am able to hurt her, and I ask myself the entire time why I didn't do it so far." I gulped and nodded before looking up at him. He looked down at me before leaning in and kissing my lips.
Isso sim é sucrilho de verdade.
É sucrilhos.
É sucrilhos, é chocolate, é crocante, é sucrilhos.
I gladly kissed back as he held my hips, and I climbed up a bit more so I was straddling his waist as I hugged his neck while we kissed. I will get nightmares of this picture. The kiss started to deepen before Jeff grunted and pulled back, holding me. I frowned. What's wrong?" He was stammering again. "That's wrong." He sighed and shook his head. "I'm a monster, Rowan." "Wait, what? She's in my bed while I'm shirtless. So she seemed to be a fucking pervert. And I'm the monster right here. I'll hurt you if this goes too far." "Well, yes." I looked at him before lifting his face in my hands. "Jeff, I trust you." Oh, bad mistake. "You are no monster. You saved my life. I would be dead if it weren't for you finding me that night." "Well, should be better, I guess." He looked at me with his blue eyes before he leaned in, our noses touching. "I trust you, Jeff," I whispered. "I love you." He looked surprised as I said that before he leaned in, kissing me softly. I love you too." This can't be serious. First of all, I'm never stammering. And second of all, why should I say to this person that I have kind of emotions for her? That was one of the most creepiest experiences I ever made in my life so far. Well, maybe the experience when I came to the shower and noticed that Laughing Jack was already in was more creepy. But anyway, I think I will just burn this book and it will be a great pleasure. I want you to remember that it's pretty stupid and pretty silly to think that this kind of story could be real. The only reason why I should do something like this is because of my own advantage, or because I'm just bored. So, there's nothing much to say anymore, except...
Happy Halloween.